Hello, welcome to another edition of Nayu Sabi TV. I'm your host, Victor. Today, we will be talking about the hidden dangers of synthetic braiding hairs, the health risk, carcinogens, which is cancer-causing agents in the hair, in Nigeria, and beyond. Let's watch a video before we continue.
Synthetic braiding hair is something used by a whole lot of people, especially the black population, including children.
Testing found potentially dangerous chemicals, including cancer-causing substances, in 100% of the hair samples. We break down the investigation results and have tips on how to stay safe.
I like to wear braids because it saves me time in the morning. They're convenient. You can just style it and just go.
Now, a new investigation by Consumer Reports is raising alarming questions about the safety of synthetic braiding hair. 10 popular synthetic braiding hair products were tested. The results are troubling. Every sample contained carcinogens, chemicals that may cause cancer.
3 of the samples tested positive for benzene, a carcinogen that is highly regulated and discouraged for use in laboratories because of the potential to cause cancer.
James Rogers, who led CR's synthetic hair testing, says testing found lead in 90% of the products.
There is no safe levels of lead. Our risk assessments and exposure models indicate that for users of these 9 products, they could be exposed to concerning levels of lead over time.
The risks don't stop there. When the hair is dipped in hot water during installation, a standard practice, it releases volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, that can irritate eyes, throat, and lungs. CR contacted all the brands for comment. Only 2, Sensational and Magic Fingers, responded, both disagreeing with CR's test methodology. HairZone Sensational said, "We unequivocally stand by the safety of Sensational products, and our company urges consumers to continue to confidently use Sensational products." Magic Fingers said, "We strongly stand by the safety of our products and the quality materials used to make them." If you use synthetic braids or if you install them, experts recommend the following safety precautions to reduce risks. Check for product recalls, read labels carefully, and limit how long you wear the style. And if you've experienced reactions to synthetic braiding hair, Consumer Reports recommends talking to your doctor and consider filing a report with the FDA.
So there is an organization that is called Consumer Reports in the United States. And what they do is they go out and they test products to protect the consumers. And they do investigations. Those investigations are geared towards protecting the consumers. So they did a recent study and they checked synthetic braiding hairs that included Sensational, Magic Fingers, Shake and Go, actually 10 of them. And they found harmful substances that can cause cancer, substances that can cause lung problems, which is respiratory problems, substances that can cause skin irritation, in 10 out of the 10 samples studied. That is really scary. So these products were found to have carcinogens. Like I said, carcinogens are cancer-causing agents. Okay, they had lead inside them, and you know that lead is dangerous for the body. And they have chemicals that can cause scalp irritation, itchiness in the skin, and even lung problems when inhaled. Not only can this cause problems for the person that is wearing the hair, it can also cause problems for the person that is doing the hair. And I'm really wondering, black people have been using all these products for so many years, and nobody took it upon themselves to investigate to protect these people. And now, white people are also beginning to use hair extensions, and that's when they thought it necessary, probably, to test it. And you know that a lot of black people far and wide in the United States, in the UK, Canada, the entire African countries are using synthetic hair because they are far cheaper than the human hair or the organic hairs, because now they're making hair out of things that are not artificial, like natural stuff, even banana stuff. Now is when they decided to do this research. Black people are using relaxers, and those relaxers have chemicals that can cause cancer. Do they want to kill us all or what? I'm really worried about this. I'm worried about this for our ladies, far and wide. Let's talk about scalp irritation and absorption. You know that the scalp, the human scalp, is very porous. Let's say if you cut your hair, you see dots, holes. Those are holes that things can penetrate the body through. If you look at medications, we even have medications that we call topical medications. So you rub it on the skin and it goes into the system. So that's a route, that's a way to give medication, by rubbing it on the skin. You have antibiotics that you rub on the skin, you have pain medication that you rub on the skin. The reason we do that is because the skin is porous. Sorry, my phone is ringing. So when the skin is porous, things can penetrate it. Things can penetrate the skin. And when things can penetrate the skin, that's the same way these chemicals or the chemicals on the hair can penetrate. And when it penetrates the skin, it can cause systemic problems. Can go in to affect the organs in your body and probably leading to cancer. Cancer in the uterus, cancer in the liver, and cancer in multiple other areas. So this is a serious matter. Let us go down and talk about respiratory concerns. So you know that when they're doing these hairs, they have to dip them in hot water. And when that is done, it releases toxic fumes that goes in the air. And when this is inhaled, it can cause respiratory problems, that is lung problems, leading to breathing problems and possibly leading to more advanced stuff like lung cancer. I don't know, but it could, because it's got carcinogens inside them. So that's another concern, the respiratory concern. Okay, talking about skin reaction, that's another issue. Okay, so users of synthetic hair, they say, have also reported itchiness, burns, and rashes on their skin due to the chemicals that these synthetic hair products are coated with. So there's a lot to be worried about in this. I know that all the women, especially black women, that see this or find out about this will be worried about this. I also know that a lot of them will say, I don't have any choice because I want to look good. But at what cost should we look good? Is it at the expense of our own health? Some other people will also say that one thing must kill somebody. Yes, that is so true. But there are things that will happen to a human being that if they die, it will be regarded as premature. So we will eventually die. However, do we really want to die that young? And do we really want to die because we want to look good? Well, my part is to make sure that you have the information and then you make your decision on your own. But I'm hoping that you make a wise decision. Let us look at the long-term risks. If you look at it, they said that continuous use of these synthetic hair products for a long term can lead to more serious health risks stemming from the carcinogens, which are the cancer causing chemicals. So the long-term health risk can actually be hormonal imbalances or even cancer. So these are things that I pulled out of this research. Meanwhile, please do not forget to subscribe. I see a lot of people watching and they are not subscribing. I also talk to some people. They tell me, oh, they don't know how to subscribe. If you look at the video, at the bottom part of it, you will see the subscribe button where it says subscribe. Just hit it. Just touch it. If you touch it, you will be subscribed. It doesn't cost any money. And then there's a bell that you will see, bell-shaped stuff. If you touch it, that will allow YouTube to notify you whenever I post a video. Let's continue.
Listen to what this woman got to say about it, then I'm going to give you some solutions.
As a Black woman scientist, I do not use synthetic braiding hair. I know most of the synthetic braiding hair we use and that can be found in beauty supply stores have toxic chemicals in them, like acrylonitrile, which has been labeled as a probable human carcinogen, and also vinyl chloride, which has been linked to cancers like leukemia and liver cancer. When the braiders are heating up synthetic hair to seal the braids, it releases toxic gases called VOCs, volatile organic compounds, and these can make asthma and breathing issues worse. Imagine Black communities where asthma rates are already high. Some synthetic braids even have flame retardants, and these chemicals are linked to cancer and reproductive issues.
80% of Black women will experience fibroids in a lifetime.
Synthetic braiding hair, they are very widely used in Nigeria and other African countries. They are also widely used in, actually, amongst the Black population of the world. And places like Nigeria, these products enter the market without stringent safety measures to protect the people, and without stringent safety measures to know the chemicals that are on these synthetic hairs. So because of their affordability, a lot of people tend to use them more than they will use the human hair. And this will pose serious health issues in places like Nigeria and other African countries, especially in areas where people don't have very good access to healthcare. So this is really an issue to be worried about. What can we do to reduce exposure to these harmful chemicals? Number one, if you soak the hair, the synthetic hair, in apple cider vinegar or in shampoo prior to use, you will wash out a lot of the chemical and then reduce the risk. Also, if you can afford it, it will be good and better for you to opt for the more natural stuff like the human hair or the plant-based stuff. because that will reduce exposure to some of these chemicals. I will also advocate for the Nigerian government to regulate what comes into this country, to regulate the manufacturers of these synthetic hair, and to know the chemicals that are on this synthetic hair. They can list the chemicals that are on these synthetic hairs. And we should also do our own testing, random sampling, random testing of the chemicals on this hair. We test the hair to find out what are on this hair. After all, a lot of countries, they also tell you, like on cigarette, that cigarette smoking is dangerous for your health. Is there a way we can also have something that labels synthetic braiding hair and state the things that they can cause to the human body? So our countries, all the countries in Africa and the countries of the world, should actually regulate these companies that are manufacturing this. They should also regulate what's coming in. After all, we have places like NAFDAC in Nigeria. If this is within their jurisdiction, they should monitor these things too. But if it is not under their jurisdiction, the agencies that should be responsible for this should monitor this to protect our women. I will also encourage you as a user that if you notice any adverse reaction to these synthetic braiding hairs, like itching, respiratory issues, that you reconsider your choice of hair and also seek medical attention. The question here is beauty worth the risk? Is your beauty worth the risk? I will also state that you, as a consumer, should be given the information to make your choice, to decide whether your style is against your health. You should have the information to know whether to go for style or to go for your health. Because if you are informed, then you can make an informed decision. Either way it goes, whether you choose to continue to use it or choose not to continue to use it, you should have the information to make that choice. Let's talk about corporate responsibility. Manufacturers, in this case, the synthetic hair manufacturers and all other manufacturers, should be held accountable for the safety of their products. They should be made to understand that they will be held accountable when their products pose health risk to humans. And once that is done, you will see a lot of these corporations, a lot of these manufacturers become responsible. The consumers should always be protected. The consumers should always be informed to make, and so they can use that information to make their choices. But number one, the consumers should always be protected.
Who installed them at risk.
I don't think you heard them the first time. They took 10 different brands of synthetic braiding hair and they tested all 10. And all of them come back with carcinogens in that can cause cancer. 10 of them. They got a strike. Do you know how hard it is to get 10 out of 10? I don't know if any of you have ever watched They Clone Tyrone on Netflix, you know, the one with Jamie Foxx in and John Boyega. The message that they put in that film is exactly the type of stuff that we're seeing here. How is it that we have been braiding our hair for centuries, and no one thought, hey, maybe we should test these and try and put some regulations on them? Did no one think they're absolutely fine pushing products out to us in the masses for cheap prices and know that we will grab them? Because at the end of the day, braiding is meant to be a protective and cost-effective style. No one has the money constantly when they want to get braids done to be buying fresh bundles all the way from Malaysia off AliExpress. We want something cheap, but just because it's cheap doesn't mean it has to be riddled with things that are going to make us sick or deter our health in the long term. The saddest thing about this is that what was once a hairstyle for black women is now a conscious health decision. Those people who want to get their hair braided to make themselves feel good, who want to get their children's hair braided so it's a protective style they can manage while they're in school or whatever. And then for the people who are braiding hair, who now have to go and seek probably more organic products that cost them more to buy, it charges the client more, when really this shouldn't be in our hands. It should have never been in our hands. This should have been touched and covered and tested years ago. But still, why are we so behind? This isn't just about braiding hair. This is about being a woman in a consumer-driven society in general. Why do we have to know all of these dangerous, harmful chemicals and have to recognize them ourselves on the back of packets when simply the person who is creating them could do the testing, make them more natural, make them more affordable, but they don't. It's greed over and over again. I know expression packs. I've been buying expression packs. For me personally, I don't mind paying the 50, 60 extra P if it means that I will not get cancer for putting it on my head. But you could have told us that. You could have put it on the pack. You could have maybe drawn us to a website to make us understand this, but you don't. And you never do. The truth is, I don't know where we go from here, but what I know is that I have a privilege, and you watching might have a privilege, to buy the more organic, natural variations of synthetic braiding hair. But let's be real, this hair is all over the world, and a lot of people and a lot of black women are going to be missed out of that conversation and not going to be able to have access to that, and going to have to continually use these things and products every single day because that's all they can get their hands on. And this is scary.
I'm going to be overly dramatic here, but I am absolutely done with synthetic hair. Okay, done with synthetic braiding hair. I had no idea how toxic synthetic braiding hair is. Yeah, I'm talking about, you know, like the Kanekalon and all of the different braiding hair that we use that looks like Afro textured hair. That stuff is poisonous, okay? Yeah. Seriously. So harmful chemicals such as polyethylene tetraphthalate or PET, polypropylene or PP, and polyvinyl chloride are chemicals linked to a range of health issues, including skin irritation, respiratory problems like asthma, and even cancer. All right. Think about Kanekalon, right? We all use Kanekalon, right? Really affordable and popular. Well, it has acrylonitrile and vinyl chloride as well, both of which are toxic to humans. And according to the National Cancer Institute, directly links vinyl chloride with leukemia, lymphoma, and rare forms of liver, brain, and lung cancer. So I'm done.
Let me ask, if you are a user of synthetic braiding hair, have you ever encountered any adverse reaction from it? Also, do you people watching, male and female, believe there should be stricter regulations for some of these products, like synthetic braiding hair?
About braiding. With the recent concerns about braiding hair and potential health risks, I've decided to wash all braiding hair before my appointments for my client's safety as well as my own. So what I did was to soak the braiding hair in apple cider vinegar and Castile soap. This is to remove any chemical residue, reduce irritation, and make the hair gentle on the scalp, helping my clients feel safe and comfortable during their appointment. This extra step of soaking the hair in the apple cider vinegar and the Castile soap is just to ensure a cleaner, safer braiding experience for everyone. I am committed to keeping my clients safe and comfortable, as well as myself. Let me know what you think in the comment section.
Finally, what steps, if you're a user of synthetic braiding hair, what steps do you take to reduce the health risk involved with synthetic braiding hair? Please share your thoughts in the comment sections. I would really love to know what your insights are when it comes to synthetic braiding hair. Please, like I begged before, I'm begging again, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, hit it. Also share this video with family and friends. Hit the like button and hit the bell. Once again, my name is Victor. I will see you in my next video. I thank you very much for watching.